Guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's vid we're going to do some naughty little Jammie Dodger blondies, so keep watching. A full list of the ingredients will be down below in the description box. Make sure you give it a like, comment and subscribe. So first I'm going to go in with my soft brown sugar and my butter, but we need that to be melted first, so we're going to chuck some butter in a pan, melt that and then throw the sugar in there as well. Melt your butter on a low heat. You don't want it to, like piping hot, you want it just to the point where it's starting to melt. You can cut it into smaller cubes. I didn't have time for that, so I didn't do that. And what I also done is I poured a little bit of my vanilla extract into my butter as well. So next we're going to start adding our brown sugar. So as you can see, I just started doing it bit by bit. I didn't throw the whole lot in all at once. Just a little bit at a time, mix that in a little bit more. While this is melting, you can get your baking tin ready. I don't have a non-stick one, so I just used a normal baking tin, added some greaseproof paper, but if you get a non-stick tray bake then you're absolutely fine. So as I started to melt and emulsify, I added in the rest of my sugar, gave it a good mix, and just, I think at this point I turned off the heat because obviously it fully melted. Don't want it to be too hot for when I add the eggs, because they're going to scramble and all that. So this is the type of consistency you're looking for, nice and runny. You can see that all the sugar granules have dissolved. So what I'm going to do now is transfer that into a metal bowl. This is going to be my mixing bowl, and this is what everything's going to go into. So you can use a metal bowl, plastic bowl, whatever you've got, as long as it's mixable. So in another bowl we're going to whisk up our eggs. As you can see, I've got 3 eggs here. I actually had a double yolker, so in my recipe it says add 2 eggs, but yeah, I added 3. Our mixture's cooled down a bit. That's one reason why I added it to our metal bowl, because it helps it just bring down the temperature. We're going to add our eggs. We're going to mix that also so incorporated and nice and soft and velvety. And you'll definitely know if your butter and sugar mixture is too hot, because the second you add your eggs in, the whole thing will just scramble and you have to start again. So make sure you cool down your mixture beforehand. So we're going to drop in a few of our chocolate chips. You can use like a chocolate bar and just cut that up. I had some chocolate chips in the cupboard, so I just used these ones. But you can use like Milky Bars, any white chocolate that you've got, and it'll work just fine. This is such an important step. Please, please, please make sure you sieve your dry ingredients into your wet ingredients, just to give it that extra bit of air and what they call aeration. It's an important step, so make sure you do that. I started off sieving a little bit at a time. I didn't want to do the whole lot because it makes it just more difficult to mix and you get more lumps that way. So I've done about a third of it. I sieved that in, mixed it, a third more, mixed it in, you know the rest. In the vid I scraped down all the sides, so you want to make sure you get all of the side bits. You don't want to see any bits of white flour left over. Just scrape down the sides and get it all mixed in properly. This right here is the consistency you want. It's soft, it's velvety, it's smooth. The only lumps in there from the chocolate chips, and that's what we need. As I mentioned earlier, if you don't have a non-stick pan, just use a bit of greaseproof paper and you'll be absolutely fine. So I've started spooning in my batter. Just try and get it as even as you can, because we're going to smooth it out with the back of a spoon in a little while. Go with the back of a spoon or a knife just to even it out so that it's the same thickness and depth all the way across. So just before we add it to the oven, we're going to pop our jam on. You can use strawberry jam. I want to say raspberry jam because that's what I had in the cupboard. Raspberry jam with bits in. Just a few dollops around, and then we're going to take a skewer and mix that around so, you know, it looks better. As you can see, this is a bake that isn't perfect, and this is a good one to make with kids, so you can get messy. They could get creative with the skewers and chuck in all the jam and all that kind of good stuff. So I've noticed some people get really meticulous in their placement of their biscuits. I truly don't care, so I just pop them around so that it looks a bit mix match, because when you cut it, I want a little bit of Jammie Dodger on each. So we're going to pop this into the oven for 35 minutes on 180 degrees Celsius. And here is our finished tray bake. One thing you have to do is let it cool for ages, because blondies, where they've got that slightly softer texture, you need that to solidify and harden up. So you can't have them fresh out of the oven. You can't cut it fresh out of the oven either. But yeah, they just look amazing. They smell amazing. The jam was bubbling away. Just got to let it cool down. So I chucked mine in the fridge for about, I want to say, an hour and a half to 2 hours. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the love I receive on like Insta, YouTube, WhatsApp. So please make sure you share this video, you like it, give me a comment as well.